What's up, fellow ARK players? This is just going to be a quick tutorial to show you how to make it so you'll be able to build out as far from your base as you want without the restrictions of having a foundation nearby. This is especially nice since the physics of ARK can be kind of hit or miss when it comes to unlevel terrain and base building. Just as a quick note, this will not affect default structures. It will only work for S+ structures, so I mean, most people are using S+ anyway. With that being said, let's get started. Headshot. In order to implement no foundations required, you'll need to get to your GameUserSettings.ini file. Before we do that though, you just need to make sure that you do not have ARK running. If it is running, the changes we're about to make won't be saved, so make sure the game is shut down, then go into your File Explorer. From your File Explorer, navigate to whichever hard drive you have Steam saved to. For most people, it will be the C drive. In my case, Steam is actually saved to a different internal hard drive, so I'm just going to open up my D drive. Next, open your Steam folder. My Steam folder is actually misnamed, Civ 6, and for me to change the folder name back to Steam would require me to re-download all my games, but the folder you're looking for is probably going to be named Steam. Anyway, once you get into your Steam folder, open up the Steam Apps folder, then Common, then ARK, ShooterGame, Saved, Config, and then WindowsNoEditor. I'll paste the file path in the description of this video so you can just use that as a quick reference for finding your way back to the INI files. So here we are at the INI files, and the one we want to open is the GameUserSettings.ini. This is going to open a notepad file that we can modify for a variety of purposes, but today we just want to scroll to the very bottom to paste the no foundations required code. You can type it in yourself, or you can just copy it from the description of this video and paste it to the bottom of your GameUserSettings.ini file. Once you've done that, all you have to do is save the notepad file and you're done. You can now build as far out from a foundation as you want. Now that you no longer need foundations to extend away from your base, you can build some pretty crazy structures without worrying about terrain and game physics issues. You could easily build a sky base, for example. Even though the name is called No Foundations Required, you do need at least one initial foundation or pillar to build off of, but then you're home free from there. You can even demolish the initial foundation or pillar and everything will just end up levitating in the air, so I mean, that's pretty awesome. And if you're looking for other INI file changes that can make your game way better, you might want to check out Havoc Gaming Channel's other tutorials on how to raise the wild Dino max level cap, and we've also got a tutorial on raising the player max level cap. So I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, please consider dropping a thumbs up on this video and subscribing to the Havoc Gaming Channel. That would really help me out a lot. Oh, and P.S. I'm not the Burger King footless guy, you fucking assholes. Alright, well hey, thanks for watching, enjoy the No Foundations Required, and Godspeed. Headshot. In this tutorial for ARK Survival Evolved, I'm going to show you how to raise the max player level cap to whatever you want. If you follow the example I give in this tutorial, you'll end up with a player max level cap of 500, but don't worry, if you want a different level cap, I'll show you how to do that as well. So first we'll go over how to raise the player max level cap, and then we'll cover some additional information you may want to know. The method we're going to be covering should work no problem on your solo file or on your private servers. I'll put timestamps in the comments section so you can jump to whatever part of the video that you need. If you have any questions after watching this video, feel free to leave them in the comments section and I'll do my best to respond. Alright, let's get started. In order to change the max player level cap, you'll need to get to your game.ini file. Before I show you how to do that, it's important to mention that you'll first need to start and log in to the world that you're going to be playing on. If you don't have the world started, the game.ini file that you need to get to won't be there. Also, make sure that the game isn't running while we make the changes we're about to go over. If the game is running, it's possible that the changes won't be saved, so just play it safe and have the game shut down. So to get to the game.ini file, go to your file explorer, then click on whichever hard drive you have the game saved to. For most people, it will be the C drive. Next, go to Program Files by 86, Steam, Steam Apps, Common, ARK, ShooterGame, Saved, Config, and finally, WindowsNoEditor. Here, you'll find the GameUserSettings.ini file, which you would use to increase wild Dino max level cap, but for increasing player max level cap, we'll be using the game.ini file, so go ahead and open that up. You'll see a notepad document with a bunch of lines of information. Just scroll down to the very bottom. This is where we'll be pasting the line of code. The line of code is so long that it won't fit nicely into the comment section of this video, so I put a link in the description of this video to a Google document with the line of code that you'll need. So open the link and you'll see the line of code you'll need to copy and paste into the bottom of the game.ini file. So let's go ahead and do that. If you're fine with a player max level cap of 500, you should be good to go. Just save the notepad file before you exit, and then you can get into your game. If you want to modify this line of code, let me show you a couple things you can do. The main body of the line of code starts with a parentheses and it ends with a parentheses. Everything in between tells the game how player leveling should work. So if we look at the very beginning of the leveling code, you'll see experience points for level 0 equals 5. So this means you have to have 5 experience points to reach level 0. To reach level 1, you need 10 experience points. Level 2 is 18 EXP, and so on. If we scroll down to the very end of the line of code, you'll see that level 500 requires 34 million experience points. You can modify this line of code all you want. Just make sure to have one parentheses in the beginning and one at the end, and also make sure the levels are separated by a comma. So let's say we want to add another level. I'm going to copy experience points for level 500 equals 34 million and paste it just to the right of that. I'm going to change 500 to 501 and 34 million to, let's say, 35 million. And that's it. We just added another level to this line of code. If you want to have a max player level cap of 250, then just delete the line of code you don't need, but remember to make sure the code ends with a parentheses. That's it for the game.ini file. Just remember to save the notepad file before you exit. Now let's verify this actually works and log into the game. So this is a brand new character that's at level 1. Let's see what level I can get him up to. I'm going to hit the tab key on my keyboard. You'll see a black bar at the bottom of the screen. I'm going to enter the admin command, add experience, as one word. Then hit space, type in a bunch of 9s, hit space, type 1, hit space again, and type another 1, then hit enter. As you can see, I got a ton of new levels, up to level 472. I'm actually not 100% sure why the game doesn't recognize the whole line of code, but if you want to get up to a flat 500, I think you could do that by adding 28 levels to the line of code. 472 plus 28 equals 500. So that's something you can try if you want. Anyway, it works for the most part. This is the line of code I've used many times in my ARK solo games and on my private servers. I've never reached the max level. I think the highest level I've gotten to is around level 280, and that was on my Ragnarok server that I played for like 300 hours or so. If you have a game that you've already been playing for a while, don't worry, this code will still work, and if you've been at level 100 for a while, you've actually been backlogging experience points, and adding this line of code will reward you with the levels you would have gotten if you hadn't been capped at level 100. Just to be safe, I always recommend manually saving your game before making any changes. I've got a video on how to do that if you're interested. Just click on the link in the upper right hand corner of your screen at any time. Another thing to mention about this line of code is that you can use it to increase the max level cap of your tamed dinos. I haven't actually tested this out, but I've verified the theory with other ARK players who have tried it. Just take the player max level cap code and paste it right underneath that. This copied line of code should be applied to how your tamed dinos level. Anyone watching this video tries this out, Please let us all know how it worked out for you in the comments section. Your help would be very much appreciated. I'll make a tutorial on how to raise tamed dino levels once I can verify that it works for sure. One last thing to cover is something you might experience when increasing the max player level cap. This has happened to me, and I know it's happened to other players where the EXP bar will get stuck, preventing you from leveling. If this happens, use a mind wipe tonic, and that should fix it. I actually have a video for that as well, so if you need more in-depth information on frozen EXP bars, you'll have a place to go for troubleshooting. Anyway, I hope you found this tutorial helpful and easy to understand. If you did, please consider dropping a thumbs up on it, and if you would like to help support me and the Havoc Gaming Channel, a subscription would be amazing. Thanks for watching, enjoy the higher levels, and Godspeed.
Headshot.
In this tutorial for ARK Survival Evolved, I'm going to show you how to raise the max level cap for wild dinos past what the game typically allows. This will not work on official servers, but it will work no problem on your solo file or on any server that allows you to change the game user settings. First, we'll go over how to change the wild dino max level cap, then we'll cover some additional information. I'll leave timestamps in the comments section so you can jump to the part of the video that you need. If you have any questions after watching this video, please leave them in the comments section and I'll do my best to respond. Alright, let's get started. In order to raise the wild dino max level cap, you'll need to get to your GameUserSettings.ini file. This file will not appear unless you've already started a game, so make sure you've logged into the world that you're planning to play on. Another thing to mention before I show you how to get to the GameUserSettings.ini file is that you don't want to have the game running while we make the changes. If the game is running, you'll find that the changes we're about to make won't be saved. So to get to your GameUserSettings.ini file, open your File Explorer. Then open whichever hard drive you saved the game to. For most people, it will be the C drive. Go to Program Files by 86, then Steam, Steam Apps, Common, open the ARK folder, go into the ShooterGame folder, then Saved, Config, and finally, WindowsNoEditor. This is where you'll find your INI files. The two major INI files you'll ever touch is the game.ini folder and the GameUserSettings.ini file. In this case, we want to go into the GameUserSettings file. This will open a notepad document. Scroll down until you get to where it says Server Settings in brackets. At the top of this section, you should see difficulty offset equals 1. Right below that, you're going to want to type override official difficulty equals X. X represents the value of the difficulty you want your ARK world to have. So in this example, I'm going to put 500. Remember, 500 is not the max wild dino level cap. The max wild dino level cap is the difficulty times 30. So in this example, I should be able to find wild dinos at level 15,000. And that's it for the game user settings. Just make sure to save the notepad file before you exit. Now, go into your game and load up your world. The creatures in your world are still the same ones you had when you last exited the game. In order to start seeing higher level dinos, you'll want to input the Destroy Wild Dinos admin command. So hit Tab on your keyboard. You should see a black bar at the bottom of your screen. Type in Destroy Wild Dinos without any spaces and hit Enter. To make sure this works correctly, it's best to be looking at a creature when you hit enter so you can verify that it actually disappears. It will take 5 to 10 minutes for the world to fully repopulate with creatures that have the new levels applied to them. If you don't use the Destroy Wild Dinos command, the new higher level dinos will still spawn in over time as the lower level dinos die out. If you're renting a server, just do the exact same thing we did here, but you'll have to do it on the server website. If you're using a tertiary computer to run as a server, make sure to make the changes on that computer's game user settings file. Another thing to mention about doing this on a private server is that you might have to use the admin code enabled cheats before you can destroy wild dinos. Just hit tab, type enabled cheats as one word, hit space, then type in your server's password, then hit enter. You should then be able to destroy wild dinos. On a more personal note, I just want to thank my fellow ARK players for supporting me and the Havoc Gaming Channel. A little over a year ago, I released my very first video called Raise Wild Dino Max Level Cap, and although the audio was terrible and the overall production was just awful, you still gave me a thumbs up on it and subscribed to my channel. Now, that video has been seen over 18,000 times and has over 300 likes. I'm not sure how many of you actually subscribed to my channel because of that video, but I just wanted to give you a shout out and say thank you for your support. I wanted to update this video to hopefully give you all a better experience. Anyway, one last quick note before I wrap up this video is I'll also be remaking the video on how to raise the player max level cap. It has the same production problems as the Raise Wild Dino Max Level Cap video, so keep a lookout for that if you're interested. Remember, if you have any questions or problems, just let me know in the comments section and I'll do my best to respond. Thanks for watching, enjoy the higher level dinos, and Godspeed.